Well, y'all know I pulled a couple of points out of that passage right there. It says, remember that perverse talk or people will distract you from listening to God. There's always a distraction. And when people are talking in ways that bothers you, have y'all ever been there? Have you been there when someone is speaking and the stuff the stuff that's coming out of their mouth is just so distracting? It just bothers you to the core. The words that are coming out of their mouth, y'all, it's just bothering you to the core, man. And let me tell you, that's happening because the enemy is trying to distract you from listening to God. And you have to understand that God says there is a better way. And so there are certain things that you have to avoid so you can stay in alignment with God and His Word. There's always a better way. Even in death, there is a better way. Even in handling trauma, there is a better way. Even in handling mental illness, there is a better way. God provides us a better way. Remember, all perverse talk and people will distract you from listening to God. And the last thing you want is not to be able to hear from God. It's the last thing you want. Is not to be able to hear what God is saying to you. Because God is still speaking in this present day. And you want to be able to hear from Him. You don't want to be distracted by your husband. You don't want to be distracted by your teachers. You don't want to be distracted by your wife. You don't want to be distracted by your kids. You don't want to be distracted by money. You don't want to be distracted by feelings. You don't want to be distracted by the world and their insecurities. You want to be able to hear from God. No matter what. You want God to be able to speak to you and you say, yes, Lord. You want God to be able to speak to you and you say, thank you, God. You do not want to be spiritually deaf that you cannot hear from God because you need God. The world needs Him. And what the world does is the world is ignoring Him because there are so many distractions today that are designed to close your ears to the very voice of God. But we have to understand that there is a better way.